morning, beautiful people. It's a beautiful day here in South Florida. We are here in Miami at WSQF 94.5 Blink Radio. I am super excited because I am here with one of my favorite business professionals here. He's all about personal branding and marketing. We got JJ live here for the first time.
Good morning. I'm gonna do my radio voice. Good morning. Coming to you live and loaded. 94, 97, 97, 970, 94.5. Yeah. Miami-Dade County. I'm gonna take you all that long,
what
ladies.
We are Key Biscayne.
See, I'm not even
He's
from
this
Miami.
this young kid from Australia that doesn't know Miami yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a second. What's going on? Keep on going.
So JJ, tell everybody, who is JJ, what you do, what's your brand, what's your company, what you've been up to, how long you've been in Miami.
Okay, yeah. So, look, listen, 16 years ago, I wanted to do two things, right? I wanted to stand on stage and tell the world who I am and what I do and what I'm about. Australian born, for everybody listening. Like, is that a real accent? I'm not sure. Maybe it's fake. But I traveled around the world and I started my career in the Hogwarts community, aka a magician.
Okay,
right? So
okay.
I built my career in the entertainment business, and that took me to meet many different people, met many different cultures, many different companies, and I worked for many different clients, and it really gave me the confidence I have today to learn how to move people, because people are my passion and my purpose. Skip ahead 16 years later, and now I'm in Miami, and I help people really sell themselves, promote themselves.
Yes, I know. I love that. I love your the name of your brand, Ace of Spades Agency.
Right.
And I mean, I've heard so many amazing things about you and what you're creating for people, the impact that they're creating in their brands because of your support. So we're going to talk about everything personal branding and marketing. And I want you to start with telling us the importance of building a personal brand with your business.
Well, at the end of the day, people buy you.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't buying the product. They're buying the person.
You're really good at selling yourself. I see it every single day. You get there on social media, you go live, you inspire everyone. What's the importance of posting every single day, and why should people be doing that?
Well, I think people just need to see you. The more you see someone, the more you hear the same message, it gets through. It's so noisy in the marketplace. It's so there's so many things happening on our phone and billboards and TV, and it's so conflicted. And who do you listen to? Who do you trust? I think half of the moves that any person who's an entrepreneur, anyone that's trying to push out their dreams, you got to get more attention. Sometimes attention is currency, because if you keep seeing the person, then you're more likely to listen to the person. Then trust, and when you have trust, then they'll do, whatever you want them to do.
What do you feel are the biggest struggles when it comes to people building their personal brands? What are they doing wrong, and what are they doing right?
Well, firstly, they have to take their ego out of it. One, like everything, right? Like, oh, I'm a really great singer. I made millions in real estate in 1992. I don't need to show myself. Listen, man, you need to take a step back. You need to realize things are changing. Times are changing. Look what's happened in the last 2.5 years. The whole world changed. How we receive information, how we communicate now is completely different. So I think taking your ego and going, you know what? I now have to actually connect with people.
I love that.
Take yourself off level 47 in the double-breasted suit. Like, I look good on it, but I'm still happy to go down and have soup on the street, But you have to learn how to go, it's okay, I don't know, and people don't, they want to connect with you now.
What is the best way of connecting? Because a lot of people, they lack connection,
right?
Which is hard for them to build their brand. Like, what would be the perfect post for them to start sharing their brand, their story, so they can start creating an audience?
Yeah, the first post you could do is, I always call it pain or pleasure. Find a time in your life that was very painful, or find a time in your life that was very pleasurable. Put that photo up and share that emotion from that time. For example, let's say as a woman or a man that you're a little bit heavier, or you're at a time in your life you didn't look that great, and you figured yourself out, you've gone to the gym, you've worked out, you're making yourself, you feel amazing. Share that emotion. What point were you at? And when you reveal, you connect, and people are like, oh my gosh.
Have you ever shared something like that with your audience?
Yeah. One of my biggest posts, I was in a convertible, and it was it was a very good looking photo, right? But then I was like, the caption was, I was intimidated by you at the beginning. Capitals. And you're like, I want to click that. And one of the biggest struggles that I have is I've trained myself in the space that I've been for the last 15, 16, 18 years now to be present, to be professional, to look good, to sound good. Because as an entertainer, you have one shot. You got to come in with like as a secret weapon. But sometimes people see that online and they get intimidated by me. I've had this at events. Man, I'm intimidated by you. You look good, you sound good, you look after yourself. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. Like, why does that intimidate you? Because it doesn't seem like you fault. And I said, well, I do, but I've just wanted to become someone that I'm proud about. But people, until I shared that I go through struggles and pains and, you know, breakups and bad business partners and I lose money, then people like, oh, wow, he's just a normal person.
Yeah, I mean, I experience the same thing, you know what I mean? Every single month, hosting these big events,
right.
There's fear, you know, there's insecurity. There's like, oh my God, is this next one going to be as good as the last one?
Right.
You know, it's going to happen.
But people see you, Mel, and they and you know, women like, look, you're an attractive woman. They get intimidated. What is she being through? She doesn't understand, but you have.
Yeah.
And it takes us to reveal that.
Exactly.
You know, I work with a lot of women and coaches, very pretty women, very, you know, if you look at them and you don't know, you wouldn't think they've been through stuff. I'm like, you need to share the story of you sleeping on the couch or minus 50 grand in the bank account or having a partner that really abused you. You need to share those stories because then people will actually connect with you more. They'll actually realize you're a human.
I love that. And that's the reason why I share my story on stage too, every single month at Epic Talks, because maybe everybody that's attended there, 70% of the room is repeat attendees, but maybe there's that one or two people that it's their first time at Epic Talks. And I share, yeah, I was a foster child. Yes, I slept in, you know, I was homeless and lived out of my car, but I don't come from a place of victimization. It's more of like, I'm a victor because of that.
Yeah.
You know
here's
what I
my
mean?
story.
Here's my story. And it doesn't matter what you go through, you can overcome and, you know, reach to your greatness like we all should. You know?
Don't allow your stories to fuel you. Like use your stories to help you.
To empower you.
To empower. But like people run off stories. You don't know what I've been through.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
The pandemic did one thing that I'm super happy about. For once in my life, no one can use "you don't know what I've been through" excuse. Because whether you were 5, right, or 50, let's say you lost your business, you lost everything throughout the pandemic. 5, you couldn't go and play with people. You couldn't go outside. So for once in life, we were connected and everyone knows in the world what happened.
Yes.
Now no one can be like, you don't know what I've been through in my shoes.
We've all been through
We've
it together.
all been through it now.
The entire world.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So stop, lose that excuse, you know?
Yes. So why isn't it about the best product or the most talented?
Because if it was the most talented, there'd be more famous people who are singers at like, you know, restaurants. You know, ever go to a restaurant, like, how is this singer not more famous? Her voice is incredible. It's because it's about the marketing, about the promotion.
Yes.
You know, there's amazing people that are play at buskers, you know, in the streets of London and Tokyo and Sydney and LA, but they're not, someone hasn't shown them and it's shared with them on how to play the game. And this is a big game. Well, it's like, it sucks because I'm an entertainer and I understand. I wish talent was enough. It isn't.
Yeah.
Because it isn't. Like,
so I've heard you on a couple of calls with, you know, some potential clients and some of your clients. What is something, like, give us a little breakdown or run through the top 5 things that people need to start doing today to start building their brand and properly marketing.
Right. Well, the first thing is mindset. You're going to get judged. You're going to be made fun of. People are going to talk about you. Like, people think it's talent or skill or looks or I'm not in a sexy industry. No, you're scared. Let's just own it. If you own it, you can control it. If you can voice it and see it, you can fix it. So let's talk about that. Are you scared? Okay. So let's get the mindset part out of the way, which you know very well. Then let's make a plan of attack, which takes all objections and excuses out of the way. So I tell them to get their phone. I say, turn on your camera every morning because you're present in the morning. Press a button and start talking. Because if you can learn how to connect with people, that is going to be your strongest weapon, because likes may shut down, verification may shut down, Instagram may shut down, but you know what won't shut down? You learning how to connect with an audience. And that is probably the biggest win that I put through every client. Do 30 days of lives.
Do you ever have any clients that come to you, well, how do I even know what personal brand I want to build?
Right. Yeah.
How do you help them figure that out?
Yeah. The best way is jumping in the deep end.
And how do you do that?
You push him in the deep end. You'll swim. You ain't going to die. I get it. Look, we all want, I know where people come from, but it's usually a fear-based thing. Very few people go, Jay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've said this, I've tried this, I've tweaked this. Then I'm like, okay, you get the level 2 help. Level 2 help is, let's strategize this now. Most people are at level 1. I'm like, show me that you've done the work. Like, show me that you've actually...
Yeah, but what if they haven't done the work, which is the reason why they're coming to you?
Right. So they have to put themselves out there, Mel. They have to actually at least voice, because what you think and what you hear and say are two different things. You don't know what you don't know, Like, some people may be interested in being a cook, but then they talk about it and I actually am more interested in helping people make a cake. So let's get clearer with our intention. It gets clearer with what do we care for and stand for. So I think for our role, Mel, for what you do and what I do, the biggest thing that really what people pay us to do, but would never say it, we give them the confidence in them. That's what I get paid the big bucks to do. But it isn't sexy. No one has ever said to you, I need to buy a confidence coach.
Yes.
Maybe one girl, one dude.
Yes,
they're like, I need the
absolutely.
Ferrari. I need the likes on Instagram. I need Jay's work. No, dude, you need someone who believes in you.
And also putting in the work and continue practicing. I remember when I first started Epic Talks,
Right.
I would get on stage the first couple of times and I was shaking. My story was all over the place.
Right.
I was like, you could literally see me sweating.
Right.
But I continued doing it. And doing it now, I'm extremely comfortable and going on any stage.
I never saw you sweating.
I could be, it could be 100 people, it could be 1,000 people, it could be 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Now I'm confident, but that's the most important thing about building a personal brand is to be consistent.
Yeah.
Be consistent. Have your story. That way, somebody asks you, you can say it in 1 minute. I think you were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we call it in PR your hook. It's called your elevator pitch.
Yeah. Your
What do you
elevator
do?
pitch.
I'm an accountant. No, you're not an accountant. Hey, I'm going to put another 5 or 6 figures in your bank account every single year. How does that work? I'm an accountant. Number 1 in Miami. Give me your card.
Gotcha.
Oh, I need that guy.
What you could do for them first.
Right.
I could do this
Sell the
for you.
solution. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not a personal brand guy. Yeah, I say it like, hey, I run a PR agency. Hey, I'm the guy that I'm going to make you the go-to person. So anytime when someone thinks of what you do, they go to you first. How does that work? I run a PR agency.
I love that. Why is promotion everything in business? You're actually really good at this. I see you go live every single day. I see you posting every single morning.
Try to.
You captivate the audience. I love watching you. You always give me that oomph, that good energy. Why is promotion everything to a business?
Well, think about this, right? Mel, where's home for you?
Brickell.
Okay, Brickell, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever see who's, and I want you to be honest with me, who's someone that you constantly see all the time, whether it's like a guy on TV or a guy on social media, but like someone like that's always seen?
Well, you're one of them.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Gary Vee is always
Okay, good.
all over the place.
So what Gary Vee's always was, he's always promoting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's always showing up. He's always putting himself out there. It helps your brand when more people know you. If more people know you and like you and they trust you, then you have them.
Yeah. I love that you bring the word trust. Why do you think that trust is the biggest problem when it comes to brands?
Well, because no one knows who to believe anymore. We're tired of getting sold to and really feeling like, oh man, that didn't work for me again. That didn't work for me again. Buyers are becoming more smarter. They're realizing television, one social media post, and their friend isn't a good enough decision for them. So the faster you can get trust online, the faster you can show people that you've worked with the people, that you've got them result, that you're credible on the press, you're credible on TV. I want to condense the conversation to 2 things. 1, do they feel like I'm the guy to help them? And and more so, am I actually the solution to the problem? A lot of people come to me and I'm like, I'm not your problem. I mean, I'm not your solution, sorry. I know what you want. I'm not the guy for you. You need that before coming to me. You need mindset before coming to me. You need something completely different. And also I want to get to the truth. But if you don't have the trust, they ain't going to share with you what's really the honest truth. I need help. What's going on? And if they don't trust you, they're just going to give you empty answers. I want to speak to their soul. And you're only going to get to their soul when they feel like you care for them and that they connect with you.
And do you think that the more you post on social media, the more you're going to gain that credibility and that trust with people?
Yes and no. So you can post a lot, but you could just be posting booty photos and be like, yo, what's up, girl? You know, just out at the beach. You know, people are like, damn.
I mean, like personal brands, you know, all these, not the Instagram models out there.
Well, you know, they're selling themselves too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if that's your end goal, congratulations, sell it, girl. Do it.
Well, that's definitely not our audience.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So with, you know, the personal brands.
Authenticity, Mel. Yeah, you need to connect with them on a personal level. So I'm a big believer of like, speak to the camera like you're speaking to a friend. Don't be like, yo, what's up, guys? Hey, everyone. You know, if anyone, you know, when you start to watch my stories, everybody listening, like you'll notice I go straight into story. I'll go straight into it.
Like, give me an example.
Like, for example, like I'll be like, I'll go straight into a story. Like, so I'm here today at the radio show. I won't even go good morning. I might go good morning, right?
Okay.
Because I like it's fun, but I just pretend that it's like people have been watching me. New people come through, I treat them like I'm talking to them like I'm talking to you now. That's how I want the camera. I want people like, I feel like he's talking to me.
Gotcha.
That's magic.
No, I love that. So obviously you have a social media strategy. How many times do you think people should be posting a day? How many hashtags people should be sharing on their reels and stories?
Okay.
Is it two times a day, 3 times a day? Should you be doing lives every single day? Should you be doing reels every single day?
Even you saying all that, I'm like, that's a lot of work right now.
Yeah, I mean,
like I got a company to run. You know, I got staff to manage. I got to make sure I'm managed. Listen, here's the 3 things that you should at least keep on your just like your mind with content. There are 3 things that people should be wanting to focus on: educational driven content. So you want to show people you're an expert. If you're a realtor, when's the best time to buy or sell? Should I buy in Florida or California? How much money do I need to invest? What's going on with the marketplace? Have education-driven content, because when someone has that pain or problem, you're the solution. They're coming to you. Number 2, show people that you have a personality. No one wants the business guy or business girl that never breaks character. I'm like, dude, does this guy even is he a human? You won't connect with them. That's where you connect with your story. Hey, maybe you weren't like this all the time. Did you look like this? Did you sound like this? Were you in this position? Share that story. And the final one, which I tell everybody to do, is like, have results. Now, you and I know people that are all talkers. I'm the biggest chatterbox in history, but you are over there. But never, ever, ever, ever will someone say he hasn't had the result though. I'm like, people are always looking to try break me down, but then, man, this guy's just result after result after result after result. So like, I'll keep talking because I know I can back it up. I don't like people like, show me. I tell people, show me.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. Show me the results. Show me who you've helped. If you haven't built it, you don't need a lie. There are ways now that you can, there's nothing more authentic. And I've worked with someone before and they said, listen, man, I want to work with you. I've only got a couple of clients, but I'm willing to grow. I said, I'm going to work with you. You know why? Because you're authentic. You didn't play a big game to try to get my business.
You got to be willing to do the work. How do personal brands, how can they build 6 to 7, 8, 9-figure businesses through personal branding?
You got to understand monetization. So this is something that I really feel like I've understood after so many years. So Mel, what you're doing now is a monetization aspect, right? So you're sharing your knowledge on a platform, right? And people, you know, that could be a chance for someone to pay you, right? There are multiple different ways to monetize your skill set. Obviously, the first one is what you do. Second one is coaching, right? So you could coach people on how to run an Epic Talks. Consult. You could come into a company, you can come into Nike and they're like, listen, we want to pay you, you know, $500,000 a year for your consulting to overlook our events. What could we do that's different? How can we connect? That's already 2. You can also do speaking. You could make 100 grand a year as a speaker. 5 grand a gig.
How do you get speaking engagements?
Firstly, what you need to do is create a reel. You need to show people that you know what you're talking about. But Jay, I don't have any stages. All right, here's the tactic, right? This is great. Go to Eventbrite, go to meetup.com. Go and find someone that obviously you have a skill set, you do something better than most people. Go and speak to the event organizer. Say, listen, I'd love to meet you, get to know you. I'd like to share my knowledge. What do you do in regards to having speakers? Not everybody, Melissa, is getting hit all the time like you. There are people that have events every month that they run it. No one's ever asked them about being a speaker. They're like, I wish someone would ask me. All your job is to get a stage, get these boys over here to come and shoot it. You do 2 or 3 of those. Now you have a reel. Now you have actually credibility that you've spoken. You use that to show people what I've done. Now you can add speaking element to your income. There's 6 figures a year most people can make just by speaking, right? Another one is merchandise, right? How can you sell something that, like I could sell, like I have that I'm about to sell, like these little tripods that people can stick to the glass. It's like for a car, when you're driving.
Gotcha.
But I branded it for me. Now you can create content anytime you go. Now that's another element of monetization, right? You could create a software, an app. If you're in fitness, create a fitness app. So I think it's like, how do you stretch your skill set to bring in other revenue? Because if one falls or if one doesn't bring in the income that you want, what else can you be doing?
It's interesting you say that, because one of the reasons I still haven't really started selling merchandise at Epic Talks, like Epic Talks hats and t-shirts, is because I don't want to distract them from everything else that's going on.
I understand.
The inner circle, getting a chance to speak to the speakers.
Yeah.
Is that maybe a limiting belief that I might have?
No. I would tell you, we're friends, right? I would tell you. I think it doesn't hurt to have a little stall, because some people will come and knowing human psychology enough, people want to feel like they did something. Hey, honey, look, I actually went to the event, I learned, and I bought a sticker. People are weird. People that makes them feel like they did something that was better for their life.
Gotcha.
Right? That's like people will go and they'll go to a gym membership and they'll go one time and it's like, I did it. I feel good about myself. So I think have it. Like, people are there. Why don't people want to support you? It's a chance for them to buy into you, because some people are scared too, Mel. I don't want to buy into the mastermind. It's not for me. It is for them, but in their mind, they've blocked themselves. Give them a chance to get the cup. Here's the $5 cup. And here's one thing I've learned about sales. Once they buy once, they'll buy again. Get them pumped.
So how much would you pay me for that button you had in your hand?
Yeah. I'm gonna. We start 100. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
What's that? Blinking.
The other
Blink
thing.
one.
The other thing, Mel, too, is like the one thing that you can do, and I mentioned to you this on the weekend, and everybody listening, and this is something that I had to learn very hard. We're givers. I'm kind. I want to give. That's great, but there is a time when givers, you can get used, you can get abused, you can get taken advantage of. That's not their fault, that's our fault.
Yes. So
what we are great is at connecting. Like, know so many people, Mel, and you could connect the perfect person with the other perfect person, and if their deal happens, you should be rewarded for that. Because imagine if you came to someone and said, I know exactly what you need help with, or what do you need? I need this person. I have the guy for you. Most people need funding. Most people need money.
Yes.
If you can be a connector of money, you can get a piece of that. And obviously, like, you can be as involved or less involved. But your phone book is very powerful, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love this. I was listening to you when we were on our way here from Brickell.
Yeah.
I was listening to you speaking to a potential client of yours. And you had mentioned something that kind of stuck with me, and I want to ask you about this because it has to do with building your personal brand.
Okay.
But you mentioned we're not going to run ads.
Yeah.
Right? And that's one of the biggest things that I keep going on and back and forth with my team. Yeah, we should run ads. Then I actually had a meeting with Frank Kern, and he was like, you shouldn't be running ads right now unless you're putting $15,000 to $20,000 a month into it, right? Yeah. And then, so people, no, if you put like $10 a day or $20 a day or maybe $1,000, I'm still trying to understand the entire process of running ads. Like, is it worth it? How do you do it the right way? Do you have a company or a good company that you can suggest, because the last thing I want to do is throw money away, especially when I do it the right way the first time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
People have this ideal, and like I'm not a paid media specialist, but I'm a person that has seen a lot of people waste money, me included,
Yeah.
because they think I'll just pay a guy $4,000 a month plus ad spend and he'll make me millions because I saw someone on Shopify do it. You don't. That's not how it works. You know, with ads, you need to have money in the kitty to test, to get data.
For at least 3 months, I heard.
Well,
Because
yeah.
you got a split test.
Yeah.
This one didn't work. Well, let's put another 20 grand into this one and see if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
works.
See what you just said. You need cash reserves. So I always say to people, cool. Are you willing to spend 100 grand to maybe find out what's working? No, I was going to spend $5 a day. I'm like, what do you expect is going to happen? Like, spend the 35 in that month and go take someone out for coffee to build that connection with them. If you really want to play logic. But people throw money at ads. Like, I did 3 times. First time was like, the guy was wrong. Second time, the guy was better. But I'm like, oh, maybe he doesn't know my industry. Third time, I'm like, this is the best guy. I've heard it from everybody. I didn't have enough money at that time to test things out.
And how much was he charging you?
No, it was like normal 3 to 5 grand plus ad spend, right?
Gotcha.
The new guys will do performance, right? But at the end of the day, like they want to work with something that's tangible, that can be easily flipped and sold and built more. But I think people are quick to like, I just throw money at ads and it will work. No, I think honestly, community and organic is a better way at the beginning, because it gives you the tenacity and the persistence and the understanding of like, let me dial in this right. Because once you dial in it through organic means, then you know exactly who their avatar is, what they stand for, what they care for. Then you have better data to go to the ad company and figure that out, you know?
Are there any like great ad companies that you would suggest out there, or somebody that you're good friends with, that is someone that you would connect, you know, your clients to?
You know what? That's a really good question. I think it's very case by case. I think what I've seen in the last 2 years, paid media guys was like the hot ticket item. I'm a paid media guy, you know, I'm an ad guy.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a cool thing to say, yeah, I'm running, you know, $1 million worth of ads and this. I think you really need to just be ready to realize it's never going to be the perfect person. Just like a business coach. You don't go to one business coach and hopefully find the magic person, like a relationship. What did I learn from her? What did I learn from him? I'm going to learn that next time, not do it. But I don't just go try it once and give up. That's the other thing too, Mel. People will do content for a day, for a week. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I don't get any followers. I'm like,
you got to stay consistent.
bro, do it for 10 years. I did YouTube for 10 years straight, 2 to 3 videos a week to build to 57 million views. It took me 3 years in 2009 to 2013 to get any kind of traction.
How many years did it take for you?
I was doing it for 10 years. I started in 2009. I lost the account. I still growing it, but it took me 3 years to get traction at 2 to 3 videos a week.
Wow.
Yeah. Back then with YouTube, in a space of magic tricks and in a space of like, there was no other platforms, video platforms that were really competing. So don't tell me like didn't work.
Yeah.
Like put the runs on the board, man.
Yeah.
And I'm really passionate with that because I have to hear myself be a little complainer sometimes too. Like I said, why is this not working? I'm like, dude, come on, Jay, you've been doing this for such a little time, like in a new industry.
So are you still really heavy on YouTube or no?
No, not at the moment, no.
When did you, because you're verified on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's an added bonus to anyone's business, right? How long did it take to build your following? And like, when did you start your Instagram page? How were you able to build it? Yeah. So I built it, what are we now? 2022, 2019. Is that right? And then I started to get the traction from YouTube. So I moved over about 50,000 followers from YouTube, right? And I'm doing everything I'm trying to do. I'm like, this is it. This is going to be tough. Yeah.
And then I did what a lot of people do, like a lot of companies do. We do celebrity shout outs. So, you know, you pay people to help you grow that following. And that was a big win for me for a long time, you know? Like I'll tell people, like it's not 1 million hardcore fans. Like I'm using my Instagram to advertise. I know what it does for my credibility to have big numbers. but I also have the content and the character to back it up. You don't want to have the likes and the bought followers and not be able to deliver.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that they play a big game online, but they just can't deliver when someone gives them a chance.
How do you think is the best way for somebody right now who's looking to build their Instagram? Like we have all our followers, people watching here. What's the best way to build your Instagram right now? Is it direct messaging, people that could be your perfect avatar to follow you? Is it going on like, for example, me, Tony Robbins or Gary Vee or Grant Cardone, or those people that are having their own events, for my VA to be reaching out to those people to get them to follow? What's like the best messaging that we could be giving?
Yeah, like coming back to the why. What do you want to do? Everyone's all good here. Like everyone's dying in the studio right now.
Manny over
We
here
got coughs.
from
like,
WSQF 94.5 over here dying with the coffee. Okay, Manny?
Yeah.
Interrupting our show here.
I love it when people try and stop a cough and it's like coming up.
We've been hearing him like almost dying for like the last 5 minutes. You okay there?
Yeah.
Do we have to call 911?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Sorry about that, buddy.
I'm begging to beautiful women to give me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Yeah. Well, look, what these guys are doing right now, they're smart. See, like they're catching a moment of maybe he's about to about to pass out. They'll post it, get some likes and views.
I have the microphone off and everything.
Are you okay there? Do you have to go to the bathroom, step out? Are you good?
I was going to go underneath the table there, but there's a tripod over there. So
Make sure if he goes underneath the table, you guys are filming him.
Imagine that. A manatee under the shore.
So anyways, back to what we were talking about. So what's the best way? Like, do you do direct messaging to increase your Instagram following? Like, what's the best way?
So, the most organic way, the fastest way is what we did in YouTube, like interview and do joint collaborations with other people of influence.
And how do you do that? Because you saying that right now, I wouldn't know what to do.
Right. So, reaching out to people and interviewing them. The interview strategy is very powerful.
So interviewing them on like IG Live?
Yeah. Now, like that is probably the number one way. And I'll tell you why this works really well. Right. And before you come up, well, I don't know what the questions to ask, this and that. Like, let's lose the excuses. Right. Mm-hmm. If you're going to own it, like what I would do is I would do 2 interviews a week.
Okay.
Right. That's 8 interviews a month. That's 8 new relationships that you're going to build.
Gotcha.
When you edify someone and put someone on a pedestal, they feel good. They feel empowered. Right. And it may only be you get 3 of those followers, but those 3 of those followers could be buyers. It's like getting a free audience. And you try and obviously go to people either you admire or that you want to get in front of and say, I'd love to interview you with my audience.
Yes.
Oh, but Jay, they're not going to get back to me because I'm a no one. I love that mindset. How long have you been running that story for? When was the last time you reached out with a personal video and said, hey, Mel, I know you don't know me. I'm a small guy. Congrats on all the success with Epic Talks. I'd love to come. I'd love to interview you and get you on my podcast, on my show. You did that a few times. Wow, this person's persistent. That was kind. They made a video for me. I'll give him a chance.
Yes, I love that. Giving people opportunities and building those relationships.
Yeah.
I can't express enough the power of building relationships with people, which is the reason why I've created the brand that I have, Epic Talks, because I've always wanted to be of service.
Right.
How can I support you? Like when we first met, you were a speaker immediately at my event.
Right.
I just met you through Brian Breach.
Right.
What is another way that you think people could start building relationships if they can't get a hold of you on Instagram?
Right. So run an event. I'm big on any client that I work with. Part of the strategy for them is every month you must run an event. You must run a live event. Why? People need to touch you, hug you, kiss you, be a part of you. Lives are great. Stories are great. But when they can feel you and see you and feel your energy, it's a very strong relationship tool. But Jay, I don't have all the money. Great. Go to a pizza shop. Like go to a place. People need to eat lunch.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna bring 50 people. Go and meet up. Come and meet me. Let's talk about the business. Let's talk about this. Like
you were doing an event. You did one.
Yeah.
Are you planning to do those every single month?
I'm gonna take my own medicine now that I've got some systems in place now, and obviously. My where I'm at is a little bit of a different place than a lot of other people with the brand. I've done a few different things. I don't have to do some of the things that I tell other people they need to do to start. But yeah, I want to do one every month. right?
Okay.
And here's a great tip for anyone who's interested in how to get a venue for very low cost, but it's nice. Rent out the cinema.
Rent out the cinema.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Go to a nice cinema. They have all these cinemas that are free. They never full, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to a cinema and say, I need to rent it out for a day. How much does it cost? You're going to be shocked on how much it is. And you have a whole cinema that's got probably great parking, food downstairs, and it's all the seats. You don't have to clean up. You don't have to bring seats in. They have a chance to play video. When someone told me that, I was like, what a gold gem. Because I was trying to find pspace.com and it's like $4,000. I'm like, dude,
It's not cheap to throw events, but you
I
can
know.
do it.
Yeah, but just start, yo. Start.
The best way to build relationships right now is host your own events. Even if you have to start at your house, even if you have to start at the building where you live. When I first started Epic Talks, I was renting out the ballroom in my building. And, Alt Media, my media team, they're here. They've been with me from the beginning. They've seen the growth of Epic Talks. But I started at a smaller venue that it can't even hold the amount of people we have now. And I couldn't be able to, throw the performances that we do now. But you can start anywhere. You can start it at your house, in your community pool. You can even start, if you're into fitness or boot camps and stuff like that, go to the beach. In the beach, you don't have to pay anything. If you're into meditation and spirituality, you can start your own events by hosting a sunrise meditation or a sunset meditation.
Strong.
And people will come. People that are in that world, people want connection. People want family. People want community. People want to be understood and heard and feel like they're part of something. So if you're out there wanting to have your own events, you can do it. And it's not going to cost you a lot of money when you start. Right, Jay?
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to get out of your head.
I love it.
You have to, like, there's no easy way of jumping in the deep end. You just have to jump, and you have to find that why again.
Yeah. And the way you get people to trust you is through events. I can't tell you the power of one-on-one. I get to see you, shake your hand, say hello.
Yeah.
And also to build connection and community. Ask somebody, how can I support you? A lot of people come to the events wanting for me to do something for them. And it's very few the ones that say, Melissa, how can I support you? And those are the ones that stay ingrained in my mind.
Right.
And I reach out to them.
Right.
The moment they say, how can I support you? Then I reach out to them and then I ask them the same question.
Right.
So it's extremely important.
What do they say? Give, like, real reciprocity is giving without anything in return.
Exactly.
And it always comes back. Like, I'm just like, there'd be so many times, I couldn't even tell you the amount of times where it's like, wow, I wonder if, like, that move was because I did something in the past. Probably,
Yeah.
Like, you get those kind of wins. Like, there's no reason for them to help me or that to happen. There's I'm always trying to, like, figure it out. I'm like, I think that's just, like, one of the gifts from
Karma's
wherever.
a real thing.
Yeah, K girl's just like, yo, I'm looking after J Man. She's for sure a girl. Karma's a girl for sure.
I love it. What is the best way someone can market their business right now? And what's the difference between marketing and advertising yourself? Can you explain that?
I think it's all the same, Like, I know people say to me, like, so what is exactly personal branding? I said, listen, I'm not that smart. I'm just like, how do I get more people to know me? And how do I get more people to trust me? So I think for someone to market themselves now with the entrepreneurs, build it through you selling you, like getting people to know you, right? And do it with a free platform like Instagram. Like, Facebook groups are still powerful too, running events. But I think, Melissa, to answer your question, don't just focus on one move. Like, people go, I'm just going to do one thing. I just don't believe that.
Do you think people should have their brands on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah, that's a good
LinkedIn, and
question.
Facebook?
So I think people get very confused.
Yes.
And
Because that's a lot of work. When you're really thinking about it, I'm like, holy crap. I mean, or you have a virtual assistant or an assistant that does it for you, but still you have to make sure that the content is written properly, that they're doing their job properly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to be posting on all these platforms. What are the top 3 platforms, and why do you think they should or shouldn't have them on all the platforms?
So I can tell you this firsthand. Like, it just depends on what the why is. Like, what do you want? A lot of people actually don't know why they're jumping around doing TikToks every day.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, girl. You're jumping around. You look good. What are you doing this for?
Yeah.
You're doing this because of two reasons. One, because maybe some other person did it and they got all these leads.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, maybe you're procrastinating.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're actually trying to pretend like you're working because you feel good about it, because we're feeling creatures.
Yeah.
Is it actually producing revenue?
Mm.
Because there are other ways to bring in revenue without jumping around on TikTok.
So I'm going to be a little selfish here, and I'm going to ask you a question for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been told a lot, like, you should start a TikTok. You should start a TikTok. All of the reels that you're posting on Instagram, you can put them on TikTok.
Sure.
Should I be starting a TikTok page just talking about building relationships, the power of building relationships, and hosting your events, and coming to learn of all the topics that I continue bringing on stage?
Yeah, well, let me re-ask you this question. What is the why? Why do you want to do this?
I want to create more impact.
Okay.
I want to continue showing people the importance of building community, building connections, not feeling alone, because this entrepreneurship journey can be extremely lonely, as you know.
Right.
You know, we have our months that are super highs, and then we have our months that something goes wrong and it's super low. And, you know, and one of the reasons why I think I continue to shine is because I have amazing people around me because of the relationships I've built.
Yeah.
I know that if I called you and I was like, Jay, I'm going through a hard time, can we get together?
Right.
You would absolutely.
That's cool. I'll say what's up.
And I have like 50 people I could do that with, but because I build relationships. And that's my why.
Okay.
Teaching people how to build relationships so they can win in any situation because of the relationships they've built.
Yeah, so I think when knowing your why, and and if you said to me, Jay, I just want to get more people to Epic Talks and build revenue, I'm like, that's fine too. Just know the strategy. I think comes down to energy in versus return back. It's not return on finances, it's time return as well. So like, if you're going to do that, set the plan, do it for 90 days and see how you go. It's a great way to test a new platform. So can I do this? And now with content, you can shoot it all on a Sunday, get the team to edit it. You're done. You can pay people to actually manage all that for you. I think give it a shot. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
and film all the content like on a Sunday.
Yeah, film all the you don't have to do 90 days worth of content. Like just do like a week's worth of content. Like it's that easy now. You can just be like, I know that, people like Alex Hamosi, he does, I think shoots 3 times a year. He does all his content for a year. But you can spend on a Saturday, do 5 videos to the camera. What are the 5 points I want to share today? Okay, boom, 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 boom. You throw it to the editor. They can send it back to you. Put it up there. See what happens.
Gotcha.
At least it took you 90 minutes of your time.
And that's what you call investing in yourself. When you set that plan, you're investing in yourself, recording those videos and putting them out there every day. Why the best investment is actually in you?
Because you can control you. I can't control Forex or crypto, Facebook or Instagram, MySpace or OnlyFans. I just can control what I can control. And I just, I share this with the people I coach. Like my job, every 3 days a week, I have a coaching program, right? Which I absolutely is so passionate to my heart now because...
You have a coaching program?
Yeah, brand new.
Where did you build it?
Like what do you mean? Where did I build?
On Kajabi?
No, it's live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it like on Zoom or?
Yeah,
nice.
It's Zoom. Yeah, so it's intense. So I've done something I think very different.
Okay.
It's what are most coaching programs? 90 days, 1 day a week.
Okay.
You roll in, Facebook group. Guess what? Me included. Everyone falls off about 4 or 5 weeks in.
So how many weeks is yours?
30 days. 3 days a week. It's intensive. I condense it. And oh my gosh, the results we've got because of it, because there's so much accountability. It's result driven work. It's like today's lesson is this. We're going to build your website so you don't have to ever build it again. So they get a massive win every time. We're going to build your social plan out for the next 90 days. Now you're good. So they're like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting like incredible moving wins. I don't do any of this kind of like, today we're going to talk about hashtags and like what to put on. No, this is going to get a work. This is going to get a win.
Results driven.
This is going to get results. We're big on sales too and how to set appointments. More people need to learn how to speak to people. People want to jump around on TikToks. Guess what? Humans still have to talk to humans to exchange a service.
I love that.
So yeah, we did 30 days, 3 days a week. It's getting incredible wins. And
I'd love to support you with that. How can I support you? Or can you tell the audience that's watching like about your program really quick?
yeah, listen, at the end of the day, this program is your zero to hero to build your personal brand. Like if you're tired of not knowing what to do and what to say and how to position yourself accordingly. Like I go to people, this isn't a $200 program. We're charging $5,000 for it. So it's serious for serious people, right? But at the end of the day, if you have a talent or skill and you're making money, there are ways to be able to get your time back, to make more money and impact and income, and to be able to at least position yourself so you know what you need to do in this place. Because I get it. What do I do, Jay? Do I post? Do I write? Do I do blogs? Do I do SEO? What do I do on my website? Like, it's confusing. So I was like, if I was to start again with the knowledge I have now, how do I skill people up? Because that's really where I was coming to. I want to skill people up to invest in themselves. Because if Facebook shuts down and Instagram shuts down, you know what does it? That you can pick up the phone call, Relationship Capital, and be like, hey, Instagram's done. We've still got those people. Let's build an offer out together. Let's run an event. Few people are relying on likes on Instagram to push them forward.
Yeah.
So my job is to skill them up so they're like a super soldier.
I love that. And how can people like find out about where do they have to go? What's the URL to sign up? Or?
Yeah, just acespadesagency.com. Like you'll see me there. If you're serious, you'll figure out a way to get in contact, right? Or at JJ Live, JayJayLive. And it's for people that are really like I love it because it's handpicked. It's 10 people. So it's small.
Yes.
I don't allow.
I love that.
And I'm not allowing randoms just to like buy. There's no buying. You have to call me. Because my time with you is a reflection of what will happen when we work together. I want to have 10 people that I'm like praising. Look at what they did. I don't want like she fell off, she didn't do it. You know?
Yeah. The most important thing you could do to elevate your brand, elevate yourself, elevate your personal life is investing in yourself. And I mean, I've known JJ for 2 years, I think now, and he's consistently investing in himself, consistently going to events to learn, to educate, to connect.
Always.
And same thing with me. The reason why I have Epic Talks is because I invested in myself from the beginning. 9 years ago, I got into personal development. I wrote my book. I started a backpack attack event. Then I started Epic Talks events. I sold courses, but because I invested in myself and I learned from the best. So if you guys are looking to expand your brand, take your brand and life to the next level, this is the right person to talk to. I vouch for him. He's incredible. And how can people find you again before we hop off here?
Yeah, if something I've connected with you, like I would love is you to just come and, I always call it, come into my nightclub, come and see. Just come and learn. And you do what you feel is right, because your gut will tell you. acespadesagency.com or at JayJayLive, JayJayLive.
Awesome. And I have one more question that I always ask my guests before we tune off.
Okay. I didn't do it. I was in Vegas one night. I didn't do it.
And the question is, what is a word that you would want to be remembered for?
Energy.
When you're no longer here.
Energy. I want people to know that, like, any time when this guy came into a room, he brought the energy up. Because, man, people are playing at such a low frequency. And, like, I just think energy and enthusiasm, you don't need to be good at sales. You don't need to even be the best. If you just uplift people, man, this guy's got, like, he's excited. I want to be a part of that. What is that girl doing? I want to be around that. And like, that's what I want people to be like, I had the energy.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in at WSQF 94.5 Blink FM Radio. Thank you, Alt Media in the house, and Manuel Cambo. You guys are all amazing. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week at the next Epic Talks.